Okay, let's jump right into a really powerful idea from James Clear's Atomic Habits. In this explainer, we're going to uncover why real, lasting change isn't just about what you're doing, but about who you fundamentally believe you are. I mean, we've all been there, haven't we? You get all excited, you start a new gym routine, a new diet, you promise you're going to read more, and then boom, a few weeks later, you're right back to square one. It's super common, and it turns out there's a really specific reason why it keeps happening.
Well, according to James Clear, the number one reason we fail is actually pretty simple. We're focusing all our energy in the completely wrong direction. We're trying to fix things at the surface level, when the real battle is happening way, way deeper.
So to really get this, we've got to look at Clear's framework for change. He says transformation happens on 3 different levels, kind of like the layers of an onion. And understanding this, honestly, it's the key to everything.
All right, so first up, on the outside layer, you've got outcomes. This is the most obvious one. It's the result, right? The finish line. Stuff like lose 20 pounds, or publish a novel, or win the championship. It's all about that big, shiny goal you want to hit.
The next layer in is your processes. This is about your system, the routine, it's what you do. So if your outcome is losing weight, your process is going to the gym 3 times a week and planning your meals. It's the how that gets you to the what.
And then, finally, right there at the very core, we have identity. Now, this is different. This isn't about what you want or what you do. It's about who you believe you are. It's those deep down beliefs like, I'm a healthy person, or maybe I'm just not a morning person. It's the story you tell yourself about who you are.
So here's the huge takeaway. Almost everyone tries to change their habits by focusing on the outside layer, the outcome. We set a goal and try to force a new process on ourselves. But Clear says this is completely backward. Real sustainable change, it has to start from the inside out. It starts with your identity.
And that brings us to the main event here. The secret to making habits stick isn't about finding more willpower or some crazy burst of motivation. It's about shifting how you see yourself first.
This is illustrated perfectly with Clear's example of 2 people trying to quit smoking. Someone offers them a cigarette. The first person says, "No thanks, I'm trying to quit." See that? Their identity is still a smoker who's just resisting. But the second person says, "No thanks, I'm not a smoker." Whoa, you can just feel the power in that shift, can't you? Their identity has already changed, so the behavior just naturally follows.
This is one of my absolute favorite lines from the book, because it just reframes everything. The point of the habit isn't the single action. It's the identity you're building. The goal isn't just to run a marathon, it's to become a runner.
So why is this so crazy effective? Well, for one, when you take genuine pride in an identity, like being a healthy person, you're just naturally motivated to keep doing the things that reinforce it. The habits stop feeling like a chore, and they start feeling like an expression of who you really are. But if your self-image is fighting your new habit, you're always going to be at war with yourself.
Clear calls this the biggest obstacle to making a positive change: identity conflict. This is what happens when the new habit you want directly contradicts the person you believe you are deep down. And our brains, they crave consistency. So if you believe, I'm just bad with money, then saving money consistently is going to feel unnatural, and you'll probably sabotage yourself just to get rid of that internal conflict.
Okay, so if changing our identity is the key, how in the world do we actually do it? It's not like you can just flip a switch in your head. Well, the process is actually way simpler and, frankly, way more empowering than you'd think. It really boils down to a simple 2-step process. First, you just decide who you want to be. And be specific here. Not just I want to be healthy, but I am the type of person who moves their body every single day. And then second, you have to prove it to yourself with small, consistent wins.
And here's the way you prove it. It's this powerful metaphor. Think of every single action you take as casting a vote for the kind of person you want to become. Every time you go to the gym, you cast a vote for, I am an athletic person. Every time you write just one page, you cast a vote for, I am a writer.
And your identity is really just the sum of all those votes. The evidence starts to pile up. And you know what the best part is? You don't have to be perfect, not even close. You just need the votes for your new identity to start outnumbering the votes for your old one. The goal is just to win the majority, not to get a unanimous decision.
Now, this is such a critical distinction. We often think we have to feel like a writer before we can start writing, but it's the total reverse. You become a writer by the act of writing. Your identity isn't something that's fixed at birth. It's something you build one single action at a time.
So let's wrap this up and see how it all comes together. The ultimate goal here, the whole purpose of building good habits, it isn't just about achieving more, it's about becoming more.
If you take only one thing away today, please let it be this. True behavior change is identity change. Sure, you can force a behavior for a little while, but for that change to really truly stick, it has to become part of you. The real goal is to make your good habits feel like the most natural choice for the person you see yourself as.
And remember, it all starts so small. You don't need a huge life-changing moment. Just one small positive action. One single vote. That one action is a tiny piece of evidence, a small step toward building the identity of the person you really want to be. So, I'll leave you with this question. Just for a moment, forget about all your big, scary goals. Instead, just ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to become? And what is one small thing I can do right now to cast a vote for that identity?